need bridal hair. I'm like, give me what we need bridal vitamins. Somebody out there, give us bridal vitamins. I'll take them, even though I got married 13 years ago. There's pregnancy vitamins. I'm sure you're under. No, seriously, I have actually spoken to Nat about this. I'm like, the stress that you're under during your wedding would actually cause skin breakout.
Yeah.
Hair loss. Yeah. Like it actually, for some brides, and not even the most chill bride, in the lead up, you're a different type of person. Yeah. You know, and you haven't been through that experience as well before, particularly if you haven't lived with your partner. You're organizing the house and the wedding and the honeymoon.
I think for me, like with work is chaotic, especially now, like end of year, like hair is just like chaotic. You got wedding season. Every weekend you've got weddings. Yeah. And then everyone's like prepping their color for, you know, their wedding or the end of the year for
They're wanting to get summer color done.
That's right. So it's like crazy right now. And it's like I got engaged, it's a year, I would have a year and a half before my wedding. I'm like, that's heaps of time. Yeah. So I, you know, being in the industry was good in a way because, you know, you have your main suppliers that you know and you like. So you book them in straight away. So I was like, oh, main stuff's done. I've got heaps of time. I'm going to leave it. Yeah. And then I got to a point not like a few weeks ago and I'm like, oh my God, like there's not that long to go. Yeah. Like December, Jan, I feel like is a write-off.
It is,
like,
you don't in really, Australia.
Yeah. Like everyone takes time off and it's, you know. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't have that long till May and I haven't done all the little things. Yeah. Invites, stationery, like hiring tablecloths and things like that. Like I haven't done anything. I'm like, I need to do that. Yeah. That needs to happen now. So, and I'm the most chill person. Like,
Ellie's super chill.
I'm like chill. But inside, I started to feel like...
my phone to film a few things on the phone. Yeah.
Inside, I started to feel like, oh my God.
I haven't done these little bits and pieces. Yeah.
And I'm not an organized person. I feel like I am like my own organized chaos, like whatever, but I'm very go with the flow. Yeah. So for me, I'm like, I need to make sure that...
But even with references, like when you said I haven't done the stationery and I was like, what do you want? And you're like, I don't know. So then I said to the team, give me the list of the Wedded Week clients and sent them over. And then it was the same thing for the cutlery, the crockery, the linens. Yeah. I think from a style perspective, you know what suits you and what works. Yeah. It's more that I don't know what I don't know. I've never had to organize stationery before. No. You know, like, what do I need? Well, I don't know what I'm looking for. So I was like, signage, you know, table numbers. Yeah. Do you want menus? Yeah. Do you want digital invitations? Do you want print invitations? Which did you say? Yeah.
So I'm so torn between having just a website that everyone goes onto or having invitations, because I feel like nowadays, like, you look at an invitation, you're like, yeah, cool, and you toss it to the side until it's the day, and then you take it with you, like, I need to make sure I need to go to the church and the reception, whatever, and then after that you chuck it out, and I'm like, the new way that everyone's going is like so digital, like, you know, we do everything on our phones and our laptops, and it's just like, everyone can just click a button.
I think it's a generational thing. Like my parents still, when they receive a wedding invite, it's up on the, like, literally, like my mum has them on the mantelpiece. No, she has like she loves, and for her it's like, oh, the wedding's going to be like this, because she can see the style of the invite. You know, she still gets very excited. I'm a paper person. I do appreciate invitations. But there are other people, and I think when you're speaking about Gen Z, they will take a photo of it and put it in their phone anyway.
That's exactly right.
Right? So you're like, okay, well, why don't I do... And sometimes now we have couples who are doing hybrid. So they're like invitations, digital for like my friends, and then for family, you know, my grandmother or my uncle or whatever it is, or international, maybe I'll do maybe like dirty print.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking now. So Matthew said to me, he's like, well, I think the oldies need one. He's like, my grandparents would love it. They'll keep it. He's like, my parents will, your parents will. He's like, and us, like, we need one. I'm like, do we? Yeah. He's like, yeah, it's like the biggest day of our life. And I was like, you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I think I might do both.
Yeah, I think doing both is not a bad idea. And having it as a keepsake is nice. Yeah. It is nice. But also now when it comes to the actual ceremony and the reception, I find that print and paper and stationery and invitations, like not invitations, but the stationery, the menu, the signage is more. Like now it's kind of like everything has that signature style to it.
Right.
So,
but I feel like if you're going to do invites and everything, I feel like it needs to be all the one person.
Yeah.
So the flow is the same.
It carries the theme through.
I think so.
Yeah. And that's what so many stationery houses are doing right now. So they start with the invitation. I always say the invitation is the first introduction to the wedding.
And it sets the vibe.
It sets the vibe. It sets the tone. I know the theme that you're going with. So I can imagine what that invite's going to look like. And people will be like, ooh, this wedding's going to be hot. Because, you know, it is that, you know, I feel like you've got a very sort of modern... you know,
but like simple but effective, like not too much going on. Because I feel like sometimes you walk into a wedding and you're like it's amazing, but there's like so much going on. You're like, where do I look first? Like there's like a forest full of flowers and candles and lights, and I'm like,
you're that type of person where I feel like with your wedding there's going to be one set theme. It's going to be really like pulled together but not too much.
Basically.
Like,
really minimal,
and you've seen so much.
There's so many things now, like being in the industry, just seeing like the morning of things that I wouldn't do. Like just for me, you know, taking photos of me putting jewelry on or, you know, putting my perfume on. For me, I don't want to do it.
I would be very awkward doing that.
That's what I mean.
So I'm like, I would be like...
Or you spray too much and then it's overpowering the whole day. Like, you just, how many times do I need to spray the perfume?
But you're not that posed, like, effortless kind of done, right?
I feel like I'm very candid. Very like, let's just get the shots in the moment. Like, I'll get a few photos of me and the girls in our pajamas. And then let's get into our dresses and, like, have some photos together. And then I'll get photos of the family and some photos of me by myself.
Yeah, of course.
You want to keep those. But I'm not too wanting to like have this staged, like, let's put my shoe on and let's take photos of my whole set of my...
It's a different type of bride.
I don't know. It's just, I think because I've seen it so much and it's like, you know, the flow of the morning. You have to have these brides ready by this time. And then from there, the photographer comes and they spend half an hour setting up this room that has their shoes and their perfume and their jewelry and everything that they're wearing with their invite and everything, which is great. But for me, I'm like, I will never use that image. It's nice, but I don't think I'd ever be like, that's a photo I'm going to pick from my album. And use. So I'm like, what's the point? But
you're more of a sentimental person. I feel like if you can have half an hour with your family.
That's what I would prefer.
That morning, then that's going to be the most important.
With my parents, like my grandparents, with, you know, my aunties and uncles and my, you know, my nieces and nephews. I feel like that's what I would use. You know?
And those, I mean, Billy, the morning of your wedding, I don't even want to know.
She's stealing my wedding.
Can we just get a content creator for her?
No, it's her. I'm telling you, it's her wedding. Like, she thinks she's marrying Matthew because that's been her boyfriend since the day she met him. Like, she opened the front door, didn't even say hello to me. Like, it was the first time meeting. I think Nat prepped her, like, this is Ellie's boyfriend that you're going to meet, you know, and she was like 2.5 at the time. And she opens the door, she barely talks at this point, and she's like, hey, boyfriend. And I was like... And from that moment, it was her boyfriend. And anyone she spoke to, I have a boyfriend named Matthew. And God. It was literally like she still hung on to it. And then when we got when I got proposed to, she was there. So she saw the whole thing happen. And so she picked up a rock and she was like getting on one knee and asking all of us to like marry her as well. This was straight after it happened. And I was like, this is the cutest thing ever. And she's like, so when are we getting married? And I'm like, we. She's like, we can share Matthew, but no one else. And I'm like, well, I just want you to know, in the real world, Billy, like, never share a man. Like, that's not what happens.
That is one toxic.
I love her.
Yeah, so I told her she's my flower girl, but I feel like deep down it's her wedding.
It's her wedding. She's the bride.
She's going to have a dress like mine. I feel she's just going to,
oh my goodness. But this is the thing. This is what's so special about weddings is there are these key people in our lives and children who, like I remember with Nat's wedding, I was 20 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And she was like, are you going to be a bridesmaid? And I said, what do you want me to do? It's February.
It's hot. How hot was her wedding?
Her wedding was 42 degrees. And I was literally giving birth the week later.
Yeah.
So we had Nikolai as her little page boy, my son,
cute.
and which was so cute. But you know, Nat that morning again is very much like you, where she's like, I just want my people. Where's my data? Where's my mum? Where am I? You know, and she's not. So that vibe and music was so.
Music.
We had to put a playlist together for the morning of the wedding, which, mind you, people don't even think about. Who thinks about that playlist the morning of the wedding where they're like, it's okay, crucial. This is what's going to get me.
Because there's so many times I've rocked up to weddings and there's no music at the start and everyone's just kind of a bit like nervous, chaotic, like how's the day going to be?
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's so quiet and awkward. As soon as someone puts a bit of music on, it's like, oh, okay, everyone just kind of relaxes a little bit. But then they put the wrong tunes on and everyone's kind of like, turn this off. Like, it's not a vibe. And then everyone starts to get a bit antsy again. So it's like, you need when there's a good playlist, everyone's in a good mood.
This is such a good tip. Honestly, when I've been to my cousin's houses the mornings of their weddings and I've walked in and there's no music, I've got my Spotify open and I'm like, where's the speaker? You know, I actually took the portable one,
the little speaker,
because I was like, I reckon they haven't thought of this, and I took it with me.
Yeah.
And we ended up playing music.
Yeah, I feel like no one thinks about that part. Even the music at your wedding.
Yeah.
Like the in between things, like you have to pick songs. Like I didn't even thought about that. And one of my brides was telling me, oh yeah, we had to pick like 20 songs for like. Oh, what's going to be your cake cutting song? What's going to be
background.
Your songs while they're eating?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to think about all this stuff.
But it does set the tone because it's all that in-between stuff that actually matters because that's when people are sitting there talking. So is it going to be, you know, and again, I love, you know, your partner's Italian, right? Yeah. So the Italians respond very differently and you're half Lebanese. Yeah. The way that they experience weddings
are different.
Is quite formal.
Yeah.
And you sit and then you eat.
It's all about the food with Italians.
And then you eat again.
They have like 20 courses and it's like food. Yeah. And they're very proud with their food.
It is
and it's like, let's have pasta with some more pasta.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like just all about the food. Whereas I feel like the Lebanese people, it's all about the vibe, like the music and the drums and the dancing and just bringing everyone together and the energy's different. Yeah. So I think, I even said to Matthew, I'm like, what are you doing in the morning of? Like, are you going to, he's like, I don't know, just have the boys and start drinking and having a good time. I'm like, but you're going to do drums? Like, what do you, what's your thing? And I think the Italians do the accordion.
They do.
And he's like, no, I don't want the accordion. And then he's like, oh, probably nothing. And then the other day he was actually like to me, I'm going to have drums. And I was like, good idea.
You know, the drums, it's so funny. We had a Polynesian couple submit their wedding and they had drums neither of them were Lebanese. There was nobody in the family that was Middle Eastern. No. But one of their friends had them at the wedding and they were like, how can we not enter without drums? And I love the idea of borrowing different things from different cultures.
I love it.
That suits your wedding. Like, I know your family is very big into music.
Yeah.
You know,
we all love music.
And you're all musicians.
Yeah.
Like, somebody can sing, somebody can dance, somebody can act.
I'm not. I am nothing, but...
I reckon if we put you to the test, you can do something. I've seen you bust a move. I've seen you bust a move. There is nobody I'm telling you, like, you guys are, and you are creatives.
Yeah.
Hello. We've seen the way that you do hair. Yeah. You're definitely a creative.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that's very important to you guys. Yeah. And then also, second to that would be the food. And the service. Yeah.
That was when I was looking at venues, I was just like, my most important thing is food. I want the food to be amazing and I just want the vibe to be amazing and to just be like chill, open, like more open space, big, like, you know, a bit more undone.
Yeah.
You know, but the food was like number one.
You mentioned the morning of, so do you have your PJ sorted? Because I know when we spoke about this. Okay, so we need PJs.
I haven't even told.
Something.
Okay,
something.
I haven't even told my bridesmaids who they are, because. Okay, I'll tell you why. Because like I feel like for boys it's so easy.
Yeah.
My fiance literally just created a WhatsApp group, put all the boys in it, and was like, "Hey man, like." Couldn't think of anyone else to have by my side on the wedding day. Like, let me know when you guys are free for lunch and let's organize it. And I was like, why are you so, and everyone's like, yeah, like mad. And I was like, I couldn't do that. Like, imagine the girls, they'd be like, oh, she put in like no effort. Like, what are we doing? You know? And I was like, I need to do something. And then I just been putting it off. Like, I want to do a box maybe with like PJs or something.
Oh, okay. So you want to do like
I think it would be cute.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I just haven't, done it. So then no one knows who.
Well, Billy knows, but then
Billy
I still think she'll appreciate a box.
She would.
Like, we need to do like a reveal.
She needs a box.
You are the bride.
Yeah, so, and Nat obviously knows that she's maid of honor, but that's about it. Like, no one knows.
So do you have dresses for your bridesmaids?
I know what I want. I want them to all have their own style. Okay. Like, I know, like, I just want everyone to feel themselves. Yep. So it'll be the same color. And then to just have whatever. They can pick their own hairstyle, makeup. I don't care.
Yeah, I did that with my bridesmaids. Yeah.
For me, I don't want them looking all the same. Yeah. Because no one looks the same. Yeah. Everyone's different. Yeah. And I feel like if you're going to say, this is the hairstyle I want, this is the makeup look I want, this is the dress you're in, and it doesn't really suit them, they're going to feel ugly, in my opinion. Yeah. I would hate being a bridesmaid and feeling uncomfortable because you're getting photos all day and you're going to want to feel hot. Like, if I have one of my cousins in my bridal party, I'm sure they're like, this is my cousin's wedding. Like, I want to feel hot. So I just want them to
them to feel as good as if they were a guest.
A guest.
Coming to the wedding and dressing up. And how they would do their hair and makeup and everything. And I feel like bridesmaids now, that's what they want.
You know what? It's becoming more of a thing. Like, there's a lot more ease to how they want to do their hair and makeup. Like, it's getting that way now. Everyone's like, let's just do different hairstyles. Like, I feel like back in the day it was very like, no, everyone's getting a middle part, and this is what we're doing. So I think it's definitely starting to change,
but I do think that if it's just like, for example, if it's my sisters and I could put them in the exact same outfit with the similar hairstyle and it would be fine. But as soon as you have different types of people,
look at the same.
We have similar body shapes. But when you have people, and then again, like you have a relative or you have someone and someone's taller or someone's, whatever, like it becomes that same style is not going to suit everyone.
But even for instance, me and Nat, like we are so polar opposite. That we wouldn't suit the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm surprised she's not asking you for a suit.
I told her she can wear one. I said, if you want to wear...
I can imagine.
But lately, she's been rocking some,
She's been wearing some dresses.
Yeah. So, and she's feeling good. So, I'm just like, whatever you want, I don't care if you wear a suit. You can wear whatever you want.
Yeah, I love that.
They can all wear a suit if they want to. Like, I actually don't care.
I love that. And so, I want to ask about hair. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you know how many weddings you've done? What you're thinking for your hair, change of look, what are brides looking for right now? Would just love a bit of insight in relation to bridal trends for hair, and then you, as somebody who's probably done hundreds of weddings.
Yeah, hundreds now. I've been doing bridal now. I was thinking about it before. I think it's 9 years.
What?
And I got pushed into it because me and Dawdy were her assistants. Yeah. And we just opened up the salon. Yeah. And Nat had this...
This is 2016, guys.
Yeah. Nat had this like cyst on her nose that just came up out of nowhere. Yeah. And she had to get rushed to hospital and just go in. So me and Dawdy were like, what do we do? This is like Friday. Yeah. Like, she's got a bride tomorrow and she's got a bride Sunday. And she had to go in for like emergency surgery. Mm-hmm. And Nat's like, you're going to have to do my brides this weekend. And I was like, me? I want to do your brides. I was like freaking out. I've never done a bride before. I've always assisted. I can style, but I'm like, this is new. Yeah. So I just got pushed into it.
That's what often happens.
You post it. Yeah. And then it just starts. People start inquiring, I loved this style you did. Like, can you do my wedding? And it's like, it just started from there.
Amazing.
But I feel like the trends lately, what I've been doing is a lot of, blowouts, like soft waves, like no Hollywood glam anymore. Like, no one wants the real tight waves that are like sleek and polished. Well, my type of bride. Yeah. I feel like I'm very like undone, textured, soft. So I feel like the clients that I've been attracting have just wanted like really soft, effortless waves, not as much teasing. Yeah. They just wanted their hair to be able to move and flow and like have more of that soft look, or they're going for like a really soft textured up style, or they'll do both. One for the church, one for the reception.
Yep.
And the bridesmaids, I'm still getting a lot of ponies.
Yeah.
Ponies is still like such a bridesmaid thing.
The Natalie Ann pony.
The Natalie Ann pony.
Rocking it since 2013, honey. The way I remember the day that went up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I still get a lot of that, or half up, half down. So that's been trending.
I love the half up, half down.
Me too.
I feel like
you get a bit of both.
You feel like
snatched.
Yeah, you do. It's, you know, for the girls who want that to feel like they still have hair around them. Like, I love having hair around my face, but I know when I've pulled my hair out, half up, half down, I feel very done. And then I don't have to worry about it for the day.
And I feel like as well, if they're dressed, like with my brides, I'm always like, if you have a lot going on here and you still want your hair out, like you're going to take away from your dress. But if you have a half up, half down, you still have your hair, but it's like, you have this all exposed, which looks beautiful.
Yeah.
So, that's been another big one as well. I feel like that's the main kind of styles that's happening at the moment.
Yeah, love it.
And I love it because I feel like it's so soft and pretty.
I can't wait to see your hair on your wedding day.
I think, honestly, I'm just going to have it up.
Yeah.
And I don't want a change of hair.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, how many dresses, how many hairstyles? And I'm like, one.
Yeah.
One and one.
Yeah.
I know, like, when I go to the touch-ups or change of hair at reception, it's like chaotic.
It's chaos.
You get there, the bride just wants to chill for 5 minutes, and I'm like, quick, in my chair, we have like half an hour, we need to do this. And she sits down and she's like, and it's like, you know, here I am like tugging at her hair, like getting it ready, you know, because we're on like a time schedule, and I just feel like you just want to like chill.
Yeah.
So for mine, I'm like, I'm gonna chill. Keep my hair. You can just add a little bit more spray.
I love it. I love that you've had that insight where you're like, this is what I want and this is what I don't want.
Yeah.
It's so good because at least that way you can be decisive for your experience on your wedding day, for sure. So we need bridesmaid boxes, PJs, linen, stationery.
Yeah.
Bridesmaids in general. So I want to talk a little bit about Wedded Week and what's coming up, because we are really excited to be launching this online luxury wedding showcase.
So everyone's been talking about it as well. Like, oh, I'm like, definitely. So it's good.
And that's essentially what we're doing. We have so many brides contacting us actually directly.
Yeah.
And letting us know the things that they want assistance with, and we're actually doing some of that direct introduction, or at least guiding them to the social accounts or to the websites of our businesses. But we did it for that reason. We're like,
well, it's so overwhelming. Yeah. Like, as I was saying before, like, I can't wait till it's all over. But, you know, you've seed me into some people already. And that has just taken the weight off me. Like, me, you know, searching for all different people, having a look at all these different pages and going, all right, who am I going to contact? And, you know, what am I going to say? And like, you just kind of did that intro and was just like, hey, this is Ellie. This is what she needs.
Yeah.
How can we help her? Like, and that just took so much stress off me. So I feel like that would be so good for
so after Wedded Week, we've already started the concierge. So basically for our brides, you know that you can contact us directly. A lot of you already do. We get many, many DMs.
I feel like some people don't know.
But they don't, because they have a fear. And then sometimes it's that message of, hey, what do you actually need? And it's like, oh my goodness, there's someone on the other side of Wedded Wonderland.
That's actually going to reply.
That's actually going to help me.
Yeah.
We're here to help brides. This is literally why Wedded Wonderland started. It's what we do, you know. So this is what we want everyone to know, is that Wedded Week is an online showcase. You'll be able to find so many incredible offers and deals from...
That you want, because how expensive is the wedding industry? So it's actually really nice to have, you know, deals happening, because I think it really helps people that are like wanting to have a certain look, but sometimes their budget just isn't there for that. So I think, you know, when you do get an offer, like it's even like 10% or whatever, you're like, that will help.
It still helps.
I can make it work.
Yeah. And the wedding industry is renowned for not giving offers and deals, for the reason that those who work in the luxury space are like, we don't want to appear like we're discounting. And so for us, it was, well, you don't necessarily need to discount, even if you give a value add.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's buying 3 bridesmaid dresses, can you offer the 4th? Or can you give us something where if they're buying bridal robes, maybe the boxing or just something, because we really want brides to feel like they're being taken care of. And our couples in general, I keep talking about brides, but our couples in general, it's like you guys deserve that bit of extra. And the business wants to do it, but they don't know how to promote it.
Yeah.
So we're like, this is literally...
Because I feel like it's never really been there before.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just starting now.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why for us, it's like, you don't have to do some massive, you know, sample sale discount. We do have a couple who have like amazing that will do. They already have a sample sale, like may as well do it for Wedded Week. But majority of the businesses are doing that value add where it's, oh, okay, well, if you book your cars, we'll give you your getaway car. Amazing. I've just saved...
For me, I'm just like, that's amazing. Like I've saved so much money just on that last getaway car. Yeah. And even if like your venue, say, has a getaway car that you can choose one of whatever, you can just go, well, now I can do something else.
That's
they're chucking in that getaway car and then you can get something else off your, you know, venue as well.
Exactly. Like we have venues all around the world. I don't know if you know, we have offers and deals in 17 countries for Wedded Week now.
I didn't know.
Yes, so that's pretty amazing.
It's worldwide.
Yeah, it's worldwide. It's global. We're taking over the world. But it is so exciting for us because even for those who are having destination weddings, honeymoons. So we actually have a honeymoon giveaway at the moment for Hayman Island. We have another honeymoon giveaway coming up. We have Grace Loves Lace giving us a wedding dress, Stephen Khalil giving us a wedding dress, Leo Lynn, bridesmaid dresses, giveaway. So we have all of these giveaways as well, which again, a lot of these businesses, if they were to run on their own,
probably would
be like, this is random. Why am I doing a giveaway? But we're like, give it to us. We want to give something away.
That's awesome.
And that's what we're hoping to do. We also have a bit of diamonds. Yeah. So there's a few things coming up on the giveaway front. And I want to say thank you because you launched our Wedded Wonderland planner for our last Wedded Week.
That planner is like so good. Like it just ticks like little things that you don't think about that you actually need. Because I feel like when you go into planning a wedding, you're like, all right, I need my hair, makeup, photographer, videographer, my dress, my venue, my church. That's it, you know. And that's what you think you need. But then there's all these little things that you don't realize. And then when you showed me the planner and I was flicking through it, I was like, oh my god, all these little things that I actually didn't know I needed. And I was like, it's right here. You write it down and it's like done. It's planned. It's there. And like, you just feel so much more organized. For someone like me that's not organized, I was like, this is like the holy grail of my wedding. Yeah. This is what I need.
I love it. I love it. But the thing is I want to say this. As a couple, you've never planned a wedding before.
Never.
Even you who has the edge of working in the wedding industry, there's still so many things that you're like, I didn't know the cost of that. I didn't know I needed to do that.
I didn't know half the cost of anything.
Yeah.
I assumed, but you just don't. Like,
you don't know until you actually are asking for those quotes and you're trying to figure it out. And I think weddings, especially if you have a certain look, like you said, that you want to go for, it's like, okay, every single wedding has a budget. Yeah. You know,
you need a budget.
You need a budget, but you also don't know what you're budgeting for if you don't know the cost of things.
That was my thing.
Yeah.
At the beginning, my cousin was sitting down with me and he's like, all right, so what's your budget? I'm like, I don't know because I don't know what everything is. Like, I don't know how much things we need. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, we need to break this down.
Yeah. But also you can hire a tablecloth for $20 or for $200. And it's like, what am I comparing here? Like, you know, when you're buying jeans, if I'm buying them from this store, then it's going to be this. If I'm buying them for that. But have you ever had to order 20 tablecloths and hire them?
I didn't know it was a thing. I thought venues just have all these different tablecloths and they don't. They're like, this is the cloth we have. Yeah. If you don't want it, you have to hire it. I'm like, hiring a tablecloth?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I didn't even, you don't think about that.
Yeah.
Hiring cutlery if you don't like the standard, I was like, oh. And then seeing, oh, well, how much is a fork going to cost?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But then how many forks do you need?
You need like 5.
Yeah. Per person. Yeah. So that's 750 forks later.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, right? Yeah. And then you're paying, obviously, for a delivery. You're paying for the cleanup. You're paying for the setup. And these businesses need to operate. So it's like...
Well, they need to pay their staff to help go and set it up. So, I mean, that's what that cost is for.
Bump in, bump out.
Yeah.
We actually are launching a venue platform as well, which basically lists out all of the things venues have and all of the amenities that they have and everything that the couple needs to be aware of in terms of like preferred vendors that they work with. So it's like if I'm getting married in Tuscany and I'm booking a villa, then these are the service providers that work in that region.
That's right.
And this is what the venue has and what they don't have. Because again, we want to be able to solve those problems for our couples. And local weddings are easier because you have contacts.
Yeah.
But when it comes to destination, like we were talking earlier for your honeymoon, you've been to Europe before.
Yeah.
But have you been to Europe on your honeymoon?
No. It'll be a different kind of experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have a honeymoon planner.
Yeah. One of my brides was telling me about her, and then another one was like, oh, yeah, I've heard of her as well. Got in contact with her and was like, well, this is the vibe I want. This is the places I want to go to. But I don't know where in these places to go. So, she's actually helps you put like an itinerary together. Like she'll go through, okay, do you want to go to Lake Como? Do you want to go to Tuscany? Do you want to go to all these places? If so, this is the flow we need to do. Like this will help you get through, which I think is just, that takes stress off me because I'm like, I would have to search on Instagram, okay, Tuscany, what can I do there? And watch all these reels. All right, I'm going to write this down. But like, it's just so overwhelming when you're planning a wedding as well. And like, say you're trying to buy a house, planning a wedding, the last thing you think of is, what am I going to do with my honeymoon? Yeah. And then you leave it to the last minute. And you
need the honeymoon. Like
everyone needs the honeymoon. I am dying for this honeymoon.
We need the honeymoon. Do we have a honeymoon planner actually? We put one together. So we'll give you, because we, similar to the Wedded Wonderland planner, we actually put together a honeymoon planner with a breakdown of all the things you need to pack, an emergency checklist for what you need on your wedding day.
Do you know what freaks me out? Brides that leave for their honeymoon the day after their wedding. How do you know that you've packed everything? Yeah. That checklist would be great because I would be like, I've forgotten half the things. Yeah. Because you're thinking about
and then
about
you're on the other side of the world.
You're going. Like this, and it's like, well, you're just going to have to buy everything there because you forgot. That would be me. Yeah. I always pack when I go on, it doesn't matter, a 2-week holiday or a 6-week holiday, I pack the night before. Yeah. So if I forgot it, that's it. That's done for me. Yeah. Like I'm going to have to get it there because I do it the night before because I'm just very unorganized.
We're definitely not doing that the night before your wedding. No. Forget that. So we have...
I'm not leaving the night... I'm not leaving... After. No,
you're going to go back home.
I'm waiting 3 weeks.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
One, I want to be in like peak summer as well over there. But I just thought you need time to like chill after the wedding and be like, we just got married. Yeah. We just got married. Like have a few days.
I think that is such a good piece of advice. I think we left not the day after that.
Yeah, so at least you have 2 days.
I was so tired. Like on the plane, I remember crashing. I was like, oh, where am I? You know, because the week before the wedding is a lot.
It's a lot.
And then I had packed my bag. We'd had it delivered, like taken to the hotel. We'd put it in the back of our giveaway car. Even coordinating that and making sure that was sorted. Somebody to pick up the wedding dress from the hotel. All of these things that you don't think of. Things that you've left at the reception. You know, you have to have somebody who is not in the bridal party literally with that emergency checklist of all the things they need to take with them. Because if you take, for example, like your photos, if you have a wishing well, any leftover like stationery or things, you know, gifting, like there's stuff that needs to be. You need to wrap that wedding up with a big bow and then you need to go. That's my quote.
But you need it, yeah. But you need those few days, I think, to really process what just happened. Yeah. Because I feel like if you up and leave it, even me, like, I don't know, my engagement party the next day, I couldn't even get out of bed. Yeah. One, too much alcohol. Yeah. The next day I felt so sick that I was like, imagine me getting on a plane today. Yeah. Yeah. I would die.
But the other thing is I find for the brides who want that social media content and they want to see what everyone shared and what
you want to go
if you're on a plane, you want to go through it.
You can't.
You want to reflect on actually
and then you lose the story. The story's only there for 24 hours.
We can't lose this Instagram story. But this is the reality of and this is what we actually need to send that introduction to guest pics. For the
the little QR code.
QR code that everyone's taking content.
I think that's the best thing that's going to happen, because then you can just go in there and have a look at everyone's like time.
Yeah, and keep the content as well. Keep the content as well. So they're another Wedded Week partner.
Because then it's like
love what they do. Yeah,
it's from a different perspective. Like someone in like just in the crowd, like filming everything, taking selfies, taking photos with everyone.
People like, capture different things.
Yeah,
they really do.
And some people are really good at it. Like naturally, they're good content creators. One of my cousins, she's great. Like she did this video at my engagement, like, and she did this little reel and like posted it, and I was like, can you send me that? Like, that's actually such a vibe. Like, and I saw different people having a great time, and I was like, I didn't even see that. Do you know what I mean? So I actually love that. I love that idea.
Yeah. I love looking at the photos, the videos, the content that's been taken, the content from the guests. I think that we're so lucky right now that we have all of those elements. Like when I got married, I remember wanting to have those moments at the house, because I'm like, this is literally, you know, I'm leaving home and I still go through, they're my favorite photos. Like it's me with my siblings, my grandparents, like that kind of journey. If that was captured by a content creator and I had all that behind the scenes content.
Was it iPhone 6 back then?
Seriously, what iPhone 6? I'm 13 years ago. There was no...
It was an instant camera.
I've got photos from Nat's wedding where I'm like literally just taking photos of like everything that was happening, because video content was not the thing.
No.
So we're just, you know, imagine what the evolution of weddings are going to look like. I think we're already seeing that transition with content creators in particular. Yeah. But even the videos, like even we used to do like a highlights reel, it would go for 5 minutes and you would show that at your wedding. Now the cinematography that these videographers can capture, the drones, think about drones.
Drones are such a new thing.
It's amazing in terms of the storytelling.
Yeah.
And I think there are some really incredible videographers, cinematographers out there. Photography even now, like
it's amazing.
It's the storytelling is just another level. And you have so many different options in terms of style.
That was the thing as well. When I was looking at even just looking for a photographer, I was like, I feel like I don't realize like that everyone has a different style until I actually started looking into everyone's pages, and I was like, oh, yeah, this one looks like Vogue. Yeah. This one looks like, very candid and bubbly and fun. And then this one's like, the new Mafia vibe. Yeah. Love it. I'm just like, there's so many different vibes. And I'm like, what one do I want to go for? I don't know. So, but I love that there's options now. Whereas I feel like it was just stock standard, like photo, this is what you're going to get. Yeah. Video, this is what you're going to get. But now it's like, but how do you want your video to look? How do you want it to be edited? Like, how do you want your photos to be edited? It's just so different.
And that briefing, I think, that photographers and video, like they're really appreciating that. And even with bridal gowns, like again, having the ability and opportunity to consider what that looks like. Even like we have so many amazing designers with ready to wear collections for Wedded Week. I'm like, when I was getting married as a migrant who, is expected to wear a very big lavish gown, we did not have options in ready to wear. They were very limited. Very. Now you have the couture designers who are really like blowing it out of the box. But then if you're that bride who is time poor and maybe has a shorter lead time, you can just go, hey, wow, I can have this. And
then they can tweak it still so that it works for their body and for them. Yeah. But it's not going to take X amount of months to put something together that you have to think about and you have to create. Like I didn't know. I was like, I don't know how I want my wedding dress, but I want something pretty. Yeah. But I'd also, for me, I just didn't want to go and try on 40 other dresses as well because I'm a bit indecisive. I'll see, I'm like, oh, this is really good. Then I'll try something else and be like, oh, this is really good. That also for me was like, this is good.
I'm not going to put myself through that. No. Yeah. But this is where you trust the experts. Just like you, if someone comes to you and says, this is how I want my hair, and you're like, but your hair's not going to do that. Yeah.
Right? Or they say, there's a lot of that. Yeah. Or, but
I Ellie today, I'm like, Ellie, I want your hair. She's like, and I'm like, give me your vitamin list. I need a breakdown.
My hair.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I think though now what's good about social media as well is everyone's a little bit more educated with, they know that, okay, I get some brides that come in and they're like, I know my hair probably won't do this. Yeah. but this is the vibe I like, or this is how I like my hair. And I'm like, all right, we just need extensions.
Yeah.
Or we just need this. You know, there's always problem solving that we can do now. Or they'll come in and be like, I don't care what we do, but this is how I don't like my hair. And I'm like, all right, that's cool.
Easier, actually.
That is easy.
Yeah.
Because then I know they're chill.
Yeah.
But they know what they don't want.
Yeah.
But they're open with options of what they want. So then I go through, all right, what does your dress look like? You know, what's the vibe of the day? Like, let's go through what you're thinking for bridesmaids and mom, and, you know, and then we get kind of an idea of, you know.
I love that. And so the question of the hour, will you be doing your own hair?
No. I will not. I don't want to do anyone's hair on that day. You know, Nat, she was doing everyone's hair on the morning of her wedding.
She really was.
I couldn't think of anything worse. I want princess treatment on my wedding day.
Good.
Like, I want to sit there and I want to not do a thing, and I want to watch everyone else do it. And I don't want to do it. You know, I'm bringing Nat out of retirement to
I know.
Yeah, so Nat's
I don't think she'd have it any other way though. Let's be real.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't even let her.
I know.
It's not an option. There was no option. I was like, all right, so you're doing my hair. She's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, we can't wait to see your wedding.
I'm excited.
One final thing that I want to mention is last night we actually launched a broadcast channel just exclusively for brides-to-be on Wedded Wonderland. And we're really excited to have a safe space where brides can come ask questions. We can give exclusive insights, advice. A lot of the Wedded Week offers we're going to be sneak peeking in there as well. Awesome. So everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think we just overnight have over 350 members already.
Wow.
So it's going to snowball, I'm sure. So brides, we're here for you. Don't forget, you can contact us directly. You all have access. Ellie has access this way. You guys have access online. We want to know what you need help with, particularly for those who are planning cultural weddings, cross-cultural weddings, because we know the challenges that come with that. Luxury weddings and destination weddings. Yeah. That's what we're here for. We do have a proposal planner for those who are looking to get engaged. Wedding planner, honeymoon planner, emergency checklist. We're going to give all of that to you.
It's important. I'm so excited.
And if there's anything else that you, in the lead up to your wedding, think, I wish that this existed, just let us know. You and you.
But I feel like you've pretty much... Yeah, I pretty much feel like you've sorted it out. All the main things that I am already going through, you've created.
Thank you. We try. Yeah. We're really... For us, it's always about how do we make it easier? And we know our couples so well. We know that the journey that they're going through, weddings have become far more complex.
Yeah.
You know, like in terms of the number of service providers. So... And the number of RSVPs, the number of guests that are attending, the number of experiences, the activations, all of these things, because a lot of people are aware that that wedding is going to live online, one. And for those who are not the social media bride and don't really care for that, it's also about what I find couples want it to be really true to them.
Yeah.
So whether it's online or not.
You don't want it to be this completely different thing that's not who you are.
Who you are. And you spend so much time, and it's the same for the honeymoon. It's the same for the proposal. You want it to be you.
That's it.
Right? Yeah. So that's what we're here to help out with.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just feel like don't be afraid to reach out to anyone and just, you know, ask a question, because like everyone's here to help, I feel.
Honestly, this is like at the end of the day, no matter how many followers you have online,
it doesn't matter.
It's a human who's asking another human a question, you know, and we have a whole team here. Yeah. Ready to assist you. So let's make this wedding happen. Let's get your bridesmaids sorted. Started.
Let's tell them.
Let's tell them that they're bridesmaids.
Yeah.
And rock and roll.
Yes.
Can't wait. Thank you. That was amazing. Thank you.